thought I was gonna have a better script or layout for this video, but I don't think I do, so I'm gonna just wing this shit like my entire educational career, which got me past high school, and that's about it. On a less real note, this short video will be covering some small aspects of level design. Also, I've had this video ready for months, but I just had no time to make it as I'm a busy bee with places to be and places to see. The things I'll showcase may be skills that I've gotten better at, or missing things that I've learned, but shows what I was able to accomplish in a more chronologically accurate sense. Today I'm going to quickly showcase a sample room that I made in the style of the game that I'm aiming for. Here it is. If you're not in the know already, Ashen Star is going to look like games from the PS1 90s era. Yeah, I know. But with a bit of a personal flavor. You can see it mostly hits all the right cues for it fitting that bill, as well as being a little creepy and a little liminal in nature. So let me go over the simple thought process that got me to this product and analyze the several components at work here that allowed me to craft the room we're so nonchalantly gawking at. First, let's understand the inspiration reference. The most obvious thing here is, like most good retro PS horror titles, it's got, that really creepy, grainy sort of aesthetic, minus the fog. Instead of drenching everything in fog and having it all dithered, like in the previous playtest, I wanted the players to be able to see pretty far out, so that way they could really take in their environments, and also because we aren't bogged down by the tech of our age, so we might as well take advantage of it. The easiest thing done here was the post-process shader, which uses like a pixel scaler for making everything look crunchier, a color scaler, so I can get some of the color banding to mimic how games could only utilize a certain amount of colors back then. And then I kind of wanted to take this look a little further. I really wanted to invoke a feeling of uncanny valley and prod at the minds of those of us who had played old games on like CRT television and would watch home videos on old shitty videotapes where there were things like heavy film grain, color aberration on bright lights, and sharp white contrast along the outlines of objects. I felt like this would really help with the subliminal visual aspect of the game, sort of grounding you back into the old style of games, before they were fucking lame and all about redundantly photorealistic graphics and queer little battle passes that have dumb shit in them. After compiling a few things, I adjusted some other things necessary to set the mood and atmosphere right, and bam, visual aesthetic was already 50% there. Next step was building a layout of the room. The room is a fucking square, but the assets, tools, and little tricks that I used to create the scene, which, believe it or not, are a good few things at play. Everything in this room is made with assets previously cooked in Blender. I wanted to be able to quickly develop my levels on the fly with some nice low poly, in-world appropriate assets that fit my game, so I made them myself, unlike most of these AAA titles, which wasn't hard thanks to the low poly aesthetic. And bam, easy peasy, but not quite. One thing that concerned me was how I was going to texture every single little shit model I had, especially ones that were Republic of Congo big, where it would be hard to apply a 512 by 512 pixelated texture on one. And I didn't want to do all of that shit for every single little thing. I'm not about doing more work than I have to, so I took it upon myself to actually learn some blueprint shit in Unreal 5, though I felt like a kindergartner taking medicine and kicking his mom in the nuts every time she tried to give it to me. I studied some things like material instances and how to do some chowder shit where the textures stay in place no matter how you move or scale the mesh, so I can have repeating textures across multiple objects and I don't need a new material for every single one, which was low-key something I was doing in the beginning like a head ass. This was insane once I figured out how to do this shit. Like once I figured out triplanar projection with pixel scaling, and I just jumped out of my chair and started emoting. It's like euphoria when you learn and perfectly execute a new skill. I don't know about perfect, but An extra step that I took sort of as a precaution was taking those texture files I made for some of these materials and putting them through this dorky little site called IMG Online, and tried making them more seamless, as I wasn't really taking that into account when I was doing that in Union Bytes Painter. And this is the result. It's a distinction, and one that I think is appropriate to avoid those seams and shit. Even though I guess old games don't really, they don't really care about that seam shit, but I do. Now, I could have just left it at that. I spent a few hours making swatches of materials now and things that I think I'd commonly use. Now I can drop those instances of whatever onto anything and be Gucci, but I was feeling a bit devious, wanted to emote some more. So I learned a new skill, mesh painting. This allows me to take two materials and paint one over the other. Crazy, I know, based on the vertices of a mesh. This utilizes some height lerp shit that I barely understand, but the important thing is I got it to work because I'm a G. Now I can improve the visual noise of somewhat flat areas with some painty, grimy shit like this. Fuck yeah. Look at that shit right here. That's a lot of uncut knowledge there, man. The last thing I started to take into account was something that is generally understood as a performance killer in video games: lighting. Now, I don't know why I thought about lighting and trying to make it good and stuff, but I'm glad I got the foresight to start learning about it, because I learned a little trick on UE5. If I press Alt F7, I get this neat little window that shows me how much light objects and shit are in a scene or area, and how it affects the screen when you're looking at it, and more importantly, how much memory it's eating up to perform whatever the fuck is going on. And I mean, look at this shit right here. It's purple. That's bad. Purple bad. Grimace smeared shit all over my screen. This just means that the previous playtest given to our lovely players was unoptimal. And our goal is to try and really reduce the size and memory usage of our game to make it as accessible and optimized as possible to everyone. So I decided to pull my sleeves up, crack the knuckles, lick the lips. I don't want that purple stuff here. So I learned how to space and adjust light objects to work in tandem with my world settings and whatever, so that the least amount of memory was going to be used, and boom, perfect. No more grimace shape. If we're talking about memory usage, I'll also mention that I made use of mesh instances on this hoe, especially for multiples or repeating things in a scene, like these pipes, shields, and stuff. The amount is pretty negligible here, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like saving money in small quantities over a long period of time. $10 a day is over like $3K by the end of the year. And it's like 8 bags of groceries here in the States in this economy, so fucking start saving. Oh, and I also learned how to use decals and cables. It's pretty simple in its own right. I don't think I need to explain any of that and what it can do for the environment. Now, I'm not one to be thorough in explaining and teaching this stuff, but in the off chance anybody was wondering how to do any of this, or how a degenerate like me learned how to do this, I've linked some videos below. None of them are in any particular order, as I watched them all like separately at different times and took different things from them, but these are straight up the same videos I watched to learn how to do everything in this video, so enjoy. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here, as I now need to make a video discussing the lack of consistent videos and go over everything in terms of both individual and development progress in some large update video of sorts. It's been like 4 fucking months since I uploaded anything to this sad little channel, so how the hell am I going to become a gold play button receiver at this rate? I mean, come on. It's time to grind. I hope the video was informative. Bye.